Today I am here to talk to you about the need to drive uptake of government services through human-centered marketing and communication. Let me rephrase that. We need to change how we talk to our constituents. So I'm going to guess that everyone in this room is passionate about your work. Being in public service, we love what we do, and we want everyone to know everything about it. We are so passionate about what we are building, we want to tell our audience everything. We work really hard not to leave any detail out, no matter how small it might be. So I'm going to let you in on a little secret. Nobody cares. That's right, nobody cares. The problem is, we aren't talking to people about the right things. We are so focused on telling people what we think they need to know that we aren't talking to them about the things they actually care about. The good news is, there's a solution for this, and it starts with using a human-centered approach. Putting our user at the center of the problem-solving process is how most of us in this room approach digital service delivery. But it's not a standard government communication practice. I'm going to share with you an example of how the Communication and Engagement Lab brings this approach to life. So last year, the Office of the Secretary of Higher Education asked us to develop a campaign to help folks who started college but left before graduating to re-enroll and complete their degree. We looked at existing research, and it told us that people who stop out lose confidence, and this lack of confidence holds them back. So as you might expect, we saw a lot of messaging along the lines of complete your degree and get your confidence back. But we didn't stop there. We needed to understand what messaging might work best to move our audience to act. We needed to talk to people, to deeply understand them and their motivations. So we interviewed residents across the state, and we got to learn what motivated them, what they aspired to, and what was really holding them back, and more importantly, how they felt about all of these different things. We did hear a lot about confidence, but we also heard something different. Our audience wasn't held back by a lack of confidence. They were experiencing grief. They needed to mourn and accept their loss before they could move forward. We realized that we could use this insight to inspire our audience to take the first step. But first, we needed messaging that would move them to action, and we needed data to validate our approach. So we developed and tested 3 creative concepts, and the results were resounding. Our winning concept actually changed our audience's perception to more strongly believe that they would complete their degree and feel more supported by the state. Research-driven messaging is only one part of being a human-centered communicator. We also need to reach our audiences on the channels that they love to use. Putting out a press release and a couple social media posts just isn't going to cut it. Private sector marketers have been using these methods for over a century to reach their customers. As government, we need to do the same, because when we do this, it works. For business.nj.gov, we collaborated with the product team to drive uptake of the state's recently launched Business One Stop. We used data, research, and insights to develop a strategy to reach our audience on their preferred channels and develop messaging that was validated. As a result, we drove usage of the site by over 71%. That growth was driven by members of underserved communities who more than tripled their monthly visits. Even bigger, we drove uptake from Spanish language users whose usage increased by more than 2,600%. Anyone in this room can create messaging that inspires your audience to act. You already have the tools in place. You know how to talk to your audience. You know how to make data-driven decisions. It's simply a matter of tapping into those tools to understand what your audience wants to hear from you so you can talk to them in a way that moves them to act. While the Communication and Engagement Lab is still in the early stages of our work, we're seeing tremendous progress with our evolution and tremendous results. Because of that, we want to help others in this room who wish to build on what we are doing, and we're extremely excited to announce the beta release of our new playbook that will help all of us use human-centered communication to better connect our constituents with our programs and services. So I encourage you to take a picture, check it out. We look forward to hearing your feedback. Thanks, everyone.